This is Stan J. Caterbone, an advanced media group. I'm at my home office at 1250 Fremont Street, Lancaster, Pennsylvania 17603. It's 11:31 p.m. on Friday, March 31st, 2023. I want to give an update on my pending litigation and the current state of affairs as far as the stalking, the harassment, the gassing, the drugging, the computer hacking, the misinformation, the changing of documents, so on and so forth. First of all, in the Florida Supreme Court, I have a case pending. It's regarding the Nicholas Cruz case. On February 14, 2018, Valentine's Day, Nicholas Cruz killed 26 people at the high school, Parkland High School in Broward County, Florida. On May 2nd, I filed an application for amicus, asserting that Nicholas Cruz was a Manchurian assassin. In other words, trained and connected telepathically by weapons, electromagnetic weapons, microwave weapons, and he was controlled by them. A few years later, an interview came out by the police that was his initial interview hours after the massacre. And he talks about the voices, synthetic telepathy. So anyway, my amicus went through on May 2nd, was recorded on the docket, and it was never ruled upon. It was still pending at the end of his hearing for his sentencing, which was life in prison without parole. Now, there were several other amicus briefs filed by people, and they were dismissed. Many of them were filed by news agencies, but there were a couple filed by individuals. One individual kept trying to assert that he was a gamer, played video games, and that had something to do with the massacre. Anyway, my amicus was never ruled upon. So I went to the appellate court in Florida, and they dismissed it, so I took it to the Florida Supreme Court. It was docketed, I believe, January or November in the Florida Supreme Court, and it's still pending. And they issued an order about a month or so back regarding a jurisdiction brief. They wanted me to file a jurisdiction brief, which is to prove in the courts, in that court, by the clerk only, no judges, why I think I have jurisdiction to be in that court with that case. They took that, then they issued another one, another order, saying that I didn't follow the right procedures, I didn't have a table of contents, so on and so forth. So now my brief, my jurisdiction brief, amended jurisdiction brief, is due by April 13th. Now, I'm on my fourth round of receiving ink from Amazon. Every time I get ink, it doesn't work. I never had problems before. It's the same ink I always order. It's 4-star. It usually has hundreds and hundreds of people ordering the ink as far as its ratings. So I'm getting another one tomorrow. I hope to finish the jurisdiction brief when I get the ink. It's not going to take me long. I just got to reformat it. Now the amended jurisdiction brief is limited to 2,500 words. So that's the status of that case. Now, the neighbors, the stalking is scripted, so scripted, it's laughable. Every time I walk out the door, the front or the back, neighbors appear. They're arriving, leaving, walking dogs. It's scripted. You can't be more scripted as far as community gang stalking, especially with the Ramirez crew in 1252. Brunilda assaults me verbally, stares at me, takes my picture, pulls up when I'm ready to leave. It's not easy for me leaving on my e-scooter. I've got to carry it down the steps, sit it there, then go close the door. Now they pull this every time I'm ready to leave. Now, they're broadcasting me live inside my home. How else would they know I'm leaving? Especially 1252 Fremont Street. And the noises on the floor, on the walls by 52 and 48 every day. Now, I got charged with stalking them in 2017 and 2019. I never stalked them, ever. They were the ones always stalking me. So we'll see how this is going to play out. Now, today I filed my update to my multimedia research and evidence library. I filed in Pennsylvania, file and serve with the in Lancaster County Court of Common Pleas, case 08-13373, Caterbone versus Duke Street Business Center et al. That case has been pending since 2008. It's a live and active case with Judge Miller, Margaret Miller, presiding. Regarding Walmart, I've ordered food in February 2022, $75 worth, never delivered. I ordered food in August 2022, $200 worth, never delivered. I returned a TV for $115, no refund. I ordered a microwave for $26 a couple months ago, never delivered. I've got $415 due me in Walmart refunds. My cash balance today in my accounts is $3,220. Now, that account is my Direct Express account, which my Social Security Disability is deposited into once a month, and my Community First Fund account. That's a checking and savings account. There's $986 in there. Then there's $150 in my reloadable Visa. Now, the Lancaster County Community First Fund, it's a new credit union that was organized when Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, donated $10 million to the Lancaster Community First Fund, Lancaster Community Fund. Now, I opened that account in May of 2022, almost a year ago, and they kept promising me my debit card for the account, which every checking account has a debit card, as soon as I open the account. Oh, it'll be here next week, it'll be next week, then it'll be here next month. Now, finally, I get a letter 2 or 3 weeks ago saying that the cards are in, come in and get your card. Well, I go in, now I had to fill out more paperwork. Now they're saying 5 to 10 business days. So we'll see. These are all lies and fabrications. If you listen to Barbara Hartwell, who's a CIA PSYOPs whistleblower, she describes what she calls the containment program. When there are issues out in the public that the military intelligence community cannot contain, they do what's called a containment program. And what they do is they surround that target and overlay them with phony phone messages, phony phone calls, people receiving the calls that aren't really the people that I'm calling, and things like that. It's well spelled out. Now, I've been a federal whistleblower since 1987. In June of 87, I had a meeting with an executive from International Signal Control, ISC. His name was Larry Resch. He came to my office at the financial firm I built with my partners called Financial Management Group and wanted me to finance some of their operations. I knew Larry. I didn't like the tone of the conversations. As I said, I was already a shareholder. I was a shareholder in ISC stock since 1982 or 83. And I had the capabilities of financing some of those operations. Well, lo and behold, I went public, called public officials, complained about what was going on. They targeted me at the same time with a COINTELPRO operation, trying to silence me, discrediting me. The Manheim Township Police on September 2nd of 1987 arrested me for literally stealing my own files out of my own office, filed 5 felonies against me and 4 misdemeanors. At the time, International Signal and Control was negotiating with Ferrani of Great Britain their big defense contractor, for a merger. In December of 1987, the merger was finalized and completed, and in March of 1988, all the charges were dismissed by then District Attorney Joe Maddensbacher through my attorney, Robert Byer. Now, Bob represented the Claire Miller girl. That's another story. Anyway, they were all dismissed. In 1991, International Signal Control, ISC, and James Guerin, they were indicted for one of the largest frauds in U.S. history. They were shipping all types of weaponry to Saddam Hussein and other people in the Middle East. They were indicted. ISC came to be by Ted Koppel and ABC News investigations, a black ops program for the NSA and the CIA. International Signal Control's first client was the NSA, the National Security Agency. They buried listening devices underwater around the Cape of Good Hope to listen for the Russian submarine traffic. It was called Project X. So I am a federal whistleblower, whether you people like to believe it or not. I've been targeted since 1987. I've had just about everything I've ever built and owned extorted from me. Real estate, cash, businesses, financial management group, advanced media group, the technology company I built in the CD-ROM business in 1989 to 1992. And they're still extorting cash from me. People are extorting my cash. When I don't get refunds, they're extorting my cash, my monies. So where this is going to go, I don't know. But you people need to understand something. All these activities against me are illegal. Everything is illegal. I don't know who's advising you people that you can do this to me, torture me day and night. I was drugged 3 times in the past 15 hours. 3 times. They used Rohypnol. I was gassed. I'm gassed every day. I have all these exhaust fans pulling this gas out. Now, a month ago, all these schoolgirls in Iran were gassed. The same way. Symptoms the same. So again, I don't know where you people are going with all this, but I'm still here and I'm not leaving. And my cases aren't going away as far as my legal litigation that is still pending. It's now 11:44 p.m. Friday, March 31st, 2023.